Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
So good morning and welcome today to our Social Security claiming webinar with Coach Dave Pemper. Looking forward to a great meeting. This is an area of really high interest, interest that doesn't seem to wane. And of course, I guess in some ways we're responsible for that because we keep innovating a little bit around Social Security seminars and helping folks be better at offering that expertise to their clients. So we're glad that you were all able to join us this morning. We should have a great event. If you have any issues, questions, anything comes up along the way, please type them in and we'll get them asked and answered just as quickly as we can. There'll be a couple polls that pop up. We'd like you to answer those as well. Dave will be joining us shortly. Before he joins, in fact, he might be out there now, but we're going to go through a couple of things about some offerings we have here at IAMS. We will touch on what we think is a very exciting opportunity around Social Security claiming and Social Security claiming seminars. So we'll touch on that here shortly. But before we get started and get into that, let me mention a couple things to you. Number one, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Steve Murray, Executive Vice President here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We like to make sure that we've got everything in line for you to be successful. And we know a big part of that is training, and a big part of that is the sales and marketing aspects of your business. And so this today is really about a little bit about the sales part of your business, helping you have more expertise that you can offer your clients, and then a little bit about marketing as well, about how you can get in front of more good quality clients that kind of fit right into your target market. So should be a good webinar today. With that, let's go ahead and get started down the path. A couple things I want to make sure you're aware of. We've got some great programs that I think many of you are already aware of, because I know that many of you have taken advantage of them. For those that are not, very simple programs. One, if you refer a producer to us and they do business, you earn an ongoing bonus on their business. If they just get contracted, in fact, we're going to send you a bonus check of $50 for anybody that you refer to us that gets appointed with us. Part of that process too is us being very referable, and so we're going to do our best here at IAMS to make you aware of everything that we have going and keep you in touch, so that if you have a colleague that you think might benefit from that, you'll feel comfortable in referring them. One of the programs that we have going that I think is very helpful and useful for guys, and one that a lot of our competitors don't do, is a marketing reimbursement program. It's a very simple program, and you do business, money goes in your marketing reimbursement account. When you spend money to market your business, then we go ahead and match your spend dollar for dollar on that. So it's a great way to kind of double the value of your marketing. And of course, we're really open and willing, and in fact, proactive in offering ways that we can help you with that marketing, because we think that's such an important part of your business. I want to make sure too, kind of along that line, that those of you out there that may have been with us or are with us for a relatively short time that haven't yet taken advantage of your new producer bonus programs, I wanted to see what we can do there. As you can see before you, and I won't go through them one by one, but you can see at different point levels there are different opportunities you can claim. Anything from a Social Security seminar to regular seminar. We're going to include radio in there soon. You can do a travel package with Ritz-Carlton. You can up your marketing reimbursement. You can choose cash, iPads, a lot of different things that you can choose at various levels. Bottom line is that when you do your first pieces of business with IAMS, there's some opportunity for you to get some extra rewards, and you can choose what those rewards would be. We believe that once you kind of get comfortable with doing business and we get to your first piece of business or two in, that you will be very, very pleased with the way that your business gets handled through the system. That's been our experience in the past. Service is really our main kind of skill set, the niche that in the competitive environment we really stand out, and we do take care of our producers as good or better than anybody out there. So we want you to see that in the new producer program as a way to make that easier for you to give us a shout and give us a chance. So as I mentioned, we do have great back office support. Again, I'm not going to dwell on what's already on the slide there before you. I will tell you that a lot of our competitors would agree with us that from a strict service standpoint, there's probably not a lot of companies out there that do it better for their agents. We're going to take your business from all the way from the point of, hey, quick call into the office, need a quick answer, we can get that for you and get your proposal out to you. We can help you at all stages of the sale. Once the business comes in, from that commission or from the submission to commission standpoint, I think you'll find that we keep you in the loop and handle as much as we can to take as much off your shoulders as possible at every step of the way. That's really a strong suit of ours, and we've got a great team of folks dedicated to handling just that. And what you'll find, I think a big part of that is just when you call, you got somebody that's going to be there and answering the phone and taking care of your request. You're not calling into a black hole, a voicemail, and hope to get a call back. So we got great support. Those of you out there that have experienced it, I think you have kind of felt that and value it quite highly. For those of you that haven't, we love the opportunity to earn your business each and every day. One of the ways that we support our agents is with our marketing solutions and what we can do there. So I like to tell folks out in the field that they need to think of our creative team as kind of their own personal advertising and PR team. So we can help you at every stage of that, whether you haven't put together your even the simplest things like business cards and stationery. We can help you with all of that, websites, Facebook advertising, radio, marketing seminars, whatever that you do to grow your business, we can help you with that. And these are folks that have experience in working just with producers that do the same things that you all do every day. So a lot of it is already kind of pre-set up, and we can get you looking to get the image that you want projected to your area. We can get that put together for you fairly quickly and really very inexpensively. A lot of folks do it all with their marketing reimbursement, which is great. Most of what we do, we try to do what we can on a pro bono basis, as there's some things that we need to do that have some hard dollar expense to them. We try and use your marketing reimbursement or keep that as efficient for you as possible. So we got a great team over there. Want you to take advantage of them. I know many of you that have been with us for years and years are just flabbergasted by the level of what they can do and how quickly they do it and the quality they can do. I want other people to see that as well. So ask your sales director or call the creative services department directly. Got a great website. We're getting ready to add some additional capabilities there. What I would say about that, you can read before you some of what's out there. There are going to be some additional things. There'll be a single sign-on for Firelight, so you can do all your EFs right on our portal. You'll also we'll also try and display for you your business, so you can just go right to our website and see your pending business, so you can kind of see where we're at on that at one single sign-on. So we want to make that website for you. That's why there's a sign-on for it right now, because there's going to be some information out there that is just personal to you. Besides that, there's also the great annuity quoter out there. There's a great term engine and life insurance quoter out there for you as well. A lot of great tools beyond just the basic stuff that you might see with other websites. So if you want to call your annuity sales director and say, hey, walk me through that, show me what might be important to me, they'll be glad to do that. I recommend it. There's a lot of stuff out there. Retirement Analyzer is a great little tool. If you do not have something like that among your retinue of things that you offer to your clients, then you'll want to take a close look at the Retirement Analyzer. So what the Retirement Analyzer does for you, it's kind of you can input some very specific information about your clients, where they're at in terms of their financial current situation, where they'd like to be, and kind of compare that to where they're at. There's a lot of you can incorporate Social Security into that as well. And what you can do is basically show your client at the end of the day, very graphically and on an ongoing basis, where they are on their retirement journey, what they need to change to get where they want to be on their retirement journey, and then help them track that along the way. There are other programs that do that. Retirement Analyzer isn't the only one, and you may have one that you're happy with. If you do, that's great. If you don't, then take some time, give Marcus in our office a call, and have him give you a sign-on, try it out for 30 days. If you're doing business with us, we're going to take care of the expense. If you've looked at the Retirement Analyzer on your own, you know that costs us about $800 a year for a single user. We're taking care of that cost for folks that are doing business with IAMS. And even if you're just getting to know us and you want to see how that Retirement Analyzer works, we're glad to let you take a look at it and spend some time with Marcus on how to use it for 30 days or so. So great little program. Like I said, if you don't have something like that right now that you use with your clients, then I would recommend you take a real close look at the Retirement Analyzer. I think you'll be happy with what you see there. So give Marcus a call here at the office. IAMS Wealth, I'm going to throw up a quick poll here, I think. So IAMS Wealth is about 2 years old, and we introduced that really pre-DOL for obvious reasons. We really felt like that was going to be almost required of folks um, as they tried to be compliant with some of the regulatory stuff around the Department of Labor ruling. As you all know, that ruling has kind of found its way into a holding pattern at worst, and maybe at best it's completely gone. But unfortunately for us, we know that there's more coming. There's already been some kind of best interest stuff that has been put out by the SEC. The NAIC, National Association of Insurance Commissioners, is working on some regulation that is going to be very, very similar probably to what we see on the best interest side. And a lot of that is going to be much more easy to satisfy if you have more capabilities than just the capabilities of offering advice as an insurance agent. So that means being able to offer securities products, and probably the best route to that for you is probably going to be to have that Series 65 to be able to manage assets for your clients on a fee basis. So if you have interest in that, I want you to click yes on this poll that I'm going to launch right now. If that's something that you want to get a little more information on, how do I do that? What's it take? What's the educational regimen that I'll need to follow? We've got a team, and they've walked all kinds of folks through that. I was going to say thousands or hundreds, but that's not really true. But we probably walked 30 to 40, 50 people through that process and helped them get licensed. So we know how to do that, make it as systematic as anybody out there. We can also help with the cost of that. If you're already Series 65 license and you're thinking about maybe you're not maybe happy with the fees that you're having to pay to keep that appointment, I think you'd be really happy with our fee arrangement. If, on the other hand, maybe you're happy with the fees but don't think you're getting the earnings that you should, we pay out a little bit over 1% to the advisor. And that is not on a grid, by the way. So if that's something you might have interest in, any one of those things, if maybe you're not happy with your service, we really, from a corporate standpoint, we've asked the team over on the wealth side try and carry over our service standards that we have on the insurance side of our business, and I think they're doing a really good job of that by all accounts from our producers. So if you're not happy with the service that you're getting, or if you're not doing the level of business that you want, maybe you come from the insurance background and have a little bit of trouble transitioning over to the wealth management side, you need some help on that, we're really good at that as well. So if any one of those things might be important to you, I'd encourage you to check yes on the poll, and let's see if we can't get you up and running with IAMS Wealth. If you check yes on the poll, what you're really saying is, hey, I'd like to have a conversation. That could be as brief as 5 minutes and could be as long as you want it to be. They'll be glad to help you with any part of that. Like I said, one thing that surprises folks on our payout is that we do not then put that payout through a grid. So you actually get 100% of that little over 1% payout that goes to you. And so that's a really nice feature. And, we all know it's important to have a lot of things in place, but obviously it's good to get paid year over year over year, year after year after year, that little over 1% payout. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. I'm going to close that poll out since everyone has been really good. There's just a couple of you that haven't voted. I'm going to close that poll out. If for one of the folks that hasn't voted, if you have an opinion or a thought that you want to go and talk with us about before you maybe signal a little bit more interest in IAMS Wealth Management, give me a call at the office at 800-255-5055. I'll be glad to walk you through that. Okay, poll is closed. We're moving right along. Gosh darn it, let's throw up another poll here. So we have an academy, at least one more academy this year that's going to happen in September, September 18th through the 20th. That's filling up quickly, but there's some room left there. It'll be in Des Moines, Iowa. That's a question I always get because I always forget to mention it, but the next one come up is in Des Moines, Iowa, September 18th through the 20th. That really is 80% sales and marketing, about 10% what's ahead, regulation stuff that you want to be familiar with, and then about 10% where we actually get into some nitty-gritty details on products. So I want you to be feel comfortable that when you come in, it's not just going to be a product dump. It really is going to be, we're going to have 4 top producers there. They're going to tell us about how they do what they do and help you do the same thing if that's what you want to do. We'll talk about where we're sitting at in terms of regulation. We will have some folks from IAMS Wealth that can tell you a little bit more about that. We'll talk about some of the developments in the industry that we need to be concerned about, keep you abreast of what's going on in the product environment. what you can look forward to in terms of developments and innovation on the product side, which I think is important. But mostly what we're going to talk about is things you can do today, tomorrow, and the next day to help grow your business. And whether it's from a marketing side, helping see more people, or it's from the sales side, more efficiently converting folks that you see to business. All of those things are going to be covered at Sales and Marketing Academy in spades. So if that might be of interest to you, you've seen some of the details on the screen there before what we talked about. I just opened a poll, and I want you to let me know whether you have interest. Now, I always forget to mention this. We're going to take care of your expenses associated with that. So if you're flying, we'll take care of getting your travel set up. We'll take care of getting you to and from the airport, the hotel. We'll take care of your hotel stay. We'll take care of your meals right there. So your expense is really going to be time out of the office. You're going to be out of your office from, for instance, in the next academy from basically Wednesday through Friday. We'll fly you in Wednesday. You'll come in the afternoon, evening. We'll have dinner that night, and then we'll actually get started on some things that evening. We'll go all day Thursday, have another nice dinner Thursday night, start again Friday morning, and have you back to the airport or wherever you need to be, get you back towards your home probably about noon or 12:30 after lunch on Friday. So, and again, we're going to take care of those expenses. So if you check yes on this poll, what's going to happen is you're going to get two things from us. You're going to get an agenda, and that agenda is going to be basically the agenda from our last academy. We have some variation each one, but not a lot. And so we'll send you the agenda for the last academy so you can look at what we do hour by hour. And then you also have a registration form. If you look at that agenda and you've listened to what I've said and you think that might be of interest, then you send in the registration form. And then what happens then is we'll give you a call as we have academies come up and invite you in. And if it's a great fit for you from a time standpoint, whether it's this September or maybe another one we do this year, the ones that we do in 2020, but we'll get you into an academy and hopefully help you see a real nice spike in your business. So if that's of interest, hit yes. If you've been into one or don't think that maybe your business is where you want it to be in terms of the sales and marketing stuff, and you don't need to grow that part of your business, then this is not for you. If you see the opportunity to maybe add some additional clients to your business in different ways and are willing to look at some of that stuff, then the academy would be a great fit for you, and you can check yes on that poll. Again, most of you have voted, and see we have probably just the same people not voting based on the voting levels. So again, if you're unable to vote and you want to chat about that, or if you want to give me a call, my 800 number is right there, 800-255-5055. If I'm unavailable, again, my name's Steve Murray. If I'm unavailable, ask for any annuity sales director, and I'll be glad to send you out the Academy agenda and a registration form. So with that, I'm going to close that poll out. Thank you all for voting so quickly, by the way. We're going to get moved right along here. All right, so thanks for taking a few minutes to let me run through some of the things that we do at IAMS. Just as I'm talking here, the coach has actually walked into my office, so he's going to be live and in person to talk a little to you about how you can help grow your business. And Dave is concerned. He thinks he looks too wide in this picture. That picture was scrunched down a little bit. He's probably a little thinner than that. But Dave has got many years of experience in the seminar business. He's probably just crossed over 500 total seminars that he's done in front of the public since the early 80s. He also has experience in the radio business. He's got a lot of expertise in Social Security, which has made him quite valuable to many of our producers since he's been coaching with us over the last 11 or 12 years. So he can be equally valuable to you. He's going to take some time and tell you a little bit about some of the ins and outs in Social Security claiming that you need to be aware of. He's also going to talk a little bit about what we're doing on the seminar side, and then he's going to give you some really exciting news about a recent offering that was really taking the industry by storm in terms of interest. So I know that you're going to be interested in that as well. So let's get right to it with Mr. Dave Pimper. I'm going to hand off to Dave, and looking forward to a great webinar with Dave here right now. Here we go.
Good morning, everybody. It's like good morning, Vietnam. Okay, so we are going in, and we've got a seminar series here. Those are not, I'll work with them. those are brand new slides that we have for the Social Security, and I didn't know they were going to be up today. But what we are going to do is I'll just go through several of the slides, Steve. That's all I'm going to do, and then talk a little bit about the new program that we have for marketing. And Steve, can everybody hear me? I take it that they can't. It doesn't go in here. Is that right? Okay, real good. Okay, wonderful. Let me see here. I'm going to see how many folks. Yeah, we got a bunch of folks here this morning, which is wonderful. Okay, my name is Dave Pimper. I've been in the business since 1981. I do my share of seminar and radio marketing, and I do a lot with production coaching for IAMS, the FMO, which Steve Murray, of course, is the co-owner of that you just heard from. So what we're going to do here today is talk a little bit about Social Security seminars and why Social Security seminars are important. Just the topic of Social Security is confusing to the majority of people. And this is a true fact, only 3% of Social Security of the public really understand Social Security claiming. And so what happens is if only 3% of the people understand, only about 15% of advisors really understand Social Security. So if you're doing income planning for pre-retired and retired, and you don't really have a true understanding of Social Security, it's about a third to 40% of all income of the average American is gotten and supplied by Social Security. It's really hard to be able to be an income planner without understanding Social Security. So what happens is that having all of the Social Security knowledge in the world does not make you more money. What makes you more money is getting in front of people. This is a great example. Now, this happened to come in from Retirement Boss Radio, my radio advertising. But here's a person today, he's 60 years of age. His wife is 60. They both came in. They're both working. She part-time, he full-time. And they do pretty good financially together. And not a big nest egg. They got about 400,000, but 270,000 of that is in his 401k. And I called today if they had an in-service non-hardship withdrawal on. It's a pretty big national plan that they belong to. I thought they probably would, and it does. So he's open to let me go in and roll a portion or all of that money into an IRA, and they've got 5 other accounts ranging from 8,000 to about 24,000 that no one manages that money. And he's heavily invested in stocks. 99% of his portfolio in his 401ks in stocks. And just yesterday alone, his portfolio went down about 10 grand. And so he said to me that he lost almost 50% in 2007, 8, 9, but he was only 50. Now he's 60, getting closer to retirement, doesn't want that to happen. Why did they come in? They came in because they wanted questions on Social Security answered for them. And I will run a report. I got all the information. I will run a report for them for next time when we meet, which is next Wednesday. But now I have a chance to work with about $400,000. And it might be 200,000. It might be a part of that, but it all derived off of asking about Social Security. Now, this is the first time. I actually weren't going to show those slides today, and I've made some changes to a few changes to those. But this is our brand new slide presentation. I put this together. IAMS went in and did the creative on it, but it gives you an idea a little bit of the look of things. And so what happens is that the seminar itself is 54 slides. It takes about an hour. And we read the disclosure. We talk about the new tax reform, and we do that for 4 of the slides. The big thing here is the standard deduction rose from $12,700 for a married couple to $24,000. That means if you're married filing jointly, you have to make over $24,000 before you pay any taxes whatsoever. More people are taking the standard deduction than ever. So I talk about history here, and I do kind of a stroll down memory lane. Social Security was started in 1935 by FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. First check to Ida Mae Fuller in 1940. Remember, when this came out, the only age you could take Social Security was 65. And interesting, longevity in 1935, the average age of longevity was 62. What a great actuarial reward for the government, U.S. government. They don't pay to 65, and most people die at 62. In 61, they lowered where you could take a reduced benefit at an earlier age by 4 years. Yeah, just a lot of good information. So we kind of go down memory lane there a little bit. Over 68 million people are receiving Social Security benefits, about 5,500,000 new last year. Average benefits about a little over $1,460. How important is Social Security? Yeah. Well, it does not have the, I got to go back here. It doesn't have, the new ones has the in here, but 36% of the average individual retirement income is made up by Social Security, other by retirement plans, other by personal savings and income. So it's a big part of retirement planning income. Get a load of this, and this really hits hard. This really hits home with people. But it says this is from USA Today from Jana Heron, just in July of this year. The headlines: doing this one thing with your Social Security can mean losing $100,000 in retirement. So it says, how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? It says retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. And then it says overall, only about 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. They're not going to get that from the Social Security Administration. They're going to get it from an advisor who really understands Social Security. More and more articles like this. Social Security 101. I take more time than I'm going through now, but I want to give you a feeling of what the slides do. There's 3 ages or dates that are important. Age 62, the earliest you can take. Age 70, you must take or you just lose the benefit. And then full retirement age is somewhere between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born. If you're born from 1943 to 1954, it's age 66. If you're born 1960 or later, it's 67. If you're born between 55 and 59, then it goes up 2 months per year up to the age of 1960, which is 67 years of age for full retirement age. If you take early, it gets reduced. If you wait longer, it gets increased. That's how the basics of Social Security works. So people have questions. Yeah. Is Social Security really going broke? Well, it's not, but people would think that it is. When's the best time to apply? What's my best? How can I get my best benefit? How will the new Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 affect me? All of those are great, great questions. Social Security has huge value. Look at this. At a $2,000 benefit at 2.8% cost of living, which is the middle cost of living, which it actually is this year. 10 years later, worth $2,600. That benefit 20 years later is worth $3,500. 30 years later, worth almost $3,600. How about in total value? 10 years, that $2,000 benefit at 2.8 cost of living, over 300. 20 years, over 2/3 of a million. Over almost $1.2 million in 30 years. Probably one of the larger benefits that you'll have. You can go online to get your statement now, which is very, very convenient. So here's myth number 1. Is Social Security is going broke? Well, it's not. There's $2.9 trillion in the trust fund. It says, when you were young, did you hear you better save now because Social Security will never be there when you retire? Well, here's the rest of the story. You know what? It is there now. And we haven't ran a deficit since 1982. There's a $3 billion deficit on about $1 trillion total revenue, so it's teeny. We probably will run a deficit this year, and then somewhere between in the next 15, 16, 17 years, We'll probably run that trust fund down to nothing. But remember, we're as a pay-as-you-go system. So we put it into payroll taxes. So solvency for Social Security. How are we going to shore up Social Security? Lots of different ways. I like the way of really increasing full retirement age to 67, probably to 70. I always say my son, 27 years of age, if I told him we're going to raise Social Security from 67 to 70, he'd just say, give me another beer, Dad. Who cares? Who cares? We care. I care because I'm older, but not he doesn't. Social Security facts. It's a pay-as-you-go system. The USA does borrow and give IOUs to the bond portfolio. Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not an entitlement program. We pay in 6.2 and the employer pays in 6.2. Figuring out your benefit, you take your 35 highest years and they're increased for cost of living each year if there is a benefit. Remember I said full retirement age, 66 through 67. Lots of acronyms with Social Security. FRA, full retirement age. PIA, that's a primary insurance amount. Yeah, lots of acronyms, and that's why it gets so darn confusing figuring out. If you take early, it gets discounted. If it's age 66 is your full retirement age, yeah, what happens is it gets discounted 25%. So about 6% a year it gets discounted up to full retirement age. If you wait longer, you're guaranteed 8% a year. All this has cost of living on top of it. Cost of living is 2.8% this year. Yeah, so what happens is it's going up almost 11%. I talked to this guy this morning. He had a $2,700 primary insurance amount at full retirement age. $2,700. If he waits 1 year, it grows $270. What a deal. What an absolute deal. Now the spousal benefit, I'm going through this very, very quickly, and you'll go through it slower, of course, when you're at the workshop itself. But you basically get all of yours or half of your spouse's if you both claim. Amy's benefits $1,000, Dave's benefits $2,400. They both claim. Dave gets 24, Amy gets all of hers or half of Dave's. Half of Dave's is $1,200. $1,200 is $200 more than hers is. That's a top up of $200. Very, very simple. Don't forget about divorce spouse benefits and the triple play for divorced spouses. Marriage lasted 10 years. Okay, lasted 10 years. Current spouse is unmarried and the ex is at least 62. If that's the case, the person receiving that divorce spouse benefit can do it as if they're still married to each other. There are many more options when you're married when you're divorced. Survivor benefit, yeah. You can jump up to the higher one. If yours is not, you can jump up to the higher one if someone passes. Dave's benefit's $2,000. Amy's benefit is $1,200. Dave dies. Amy can jump up to hers. Now, interesting, on a spousal benefit, it's done automatically by Social Security. On a survivor benefit, you have to request it. If you don't request it, it's biblical. You don't get it. Spousal benefits. The Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 changed, file, and suspend. It went away, but the twin sister of that is restricted application, which is still available if you were born before January the 2nd of 1954. So here's how it works. This gets a little complicated, but say Dave's $2,400, his primary insurance amount at the age of 66. Amy's is $1,000. Dave claims his, but because he's old enough to do this, born before January the 2nd of 1954, what happens is he can go in and he can let his stop any kind of income coming in, and he gets the spousal gets the 8% delayed retirement credits and cost of living. Now Amy has to claim her. She claims $1,000. But now Dave can take a spousal benefit, which he's a taker of Amy's benefit. Spousal benefit is always half of 1,000 is 500. He can take $500 a month, 6,000 a year, 24,000 in 4 years. That's free money. In fact, less than 1% of people who they could earn more free money like this take advantage of it. Why? You don't hear about it from the Social Security Administration. Dave lets his benefit grow from 2,400 to, with a 2.8% COLA, it's actually 3,498. He turns his on. Now Amy actually gets a top up of $200 from her $1,000 benefit. Now the family benefit's $4,700. That's a lot of money. $4,700 a month. Yeah, almost $60,000 a year. Your Social Security myth number 2. You're going to get the biggest family benefit when you claim age 70. That's not always the case. In fact, the average age that people claim to get the optimal benefit is 67. So it's very, very interesting. My wife, I know a lot about Social Security, she took it 62. I'm waiting later, but she took it 62. So if you're claiming early, yeah, if you need the money, yeah, you want to claim early. If you have questionable health, you might want to take early. Bad health in your, but the worst thing is being uninformed, being ignorant about Social Security. That's when people come to the workshop like this and they're not. So what I'm going to do now is really go through, Social Security myth number 3, annual earnings test, do-overs, taxation, reducing taxes on benefits. We talk about Roth converting because rates are low right now. Social Security myth number 5, Social Security Administration will give you the best advice of how to maximize your benefit. Here's what they can do. They can estimate your individual benefit. They can tell you how much you're entitled to now. You know what they can't do? They cannot project future benefits through scenario planning like restricted application. They cannot help you with innovative strategies designed to maximize benefits. Believe it or not, they cannot give you advice. This comes from their POMS manual, Program Operation Manual System. Look at D. This is for the employees at the Social Security Administration. Provide enough information so the claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. How bizarre is that? We talk about the 5 pillars of income: wages, pensions, income-producing assets, required minimum distributions on traditional accounts of Social Security. Social Security being the most flexible of those. And we went through those this morning with this client, with the prospect. That's where we uncovered all of his assets that hopefully I'm going to be able to work with here in the coming weeks. But his main question coming in was, when should I take my Social Security? This is a great way to uncover number 3, because 1, 2, 4, and 5 don't make us money, but 3 certainly does. Then I asked the folks, is there questions you have? This is for the seminar. When to claim your benefit. There's a lot to decide. I say procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. If you heard something tonight, you need to mark up yes. There's the evaluation form that has the opportunity to take action. We have dates and time ranges to fill out. And then I end up with a George Foreman quote. The question isn't at what age I want to retire, but it's at what income. And then I normally say here, folks, George Foreman made the majority of his money, and someone will say the George Foreman grill. And I said, yeah, he made more money from his grill than he ever did as being the 4-time heavyweight champion of the world in heavyweight boxing as a prize fighter. And I'll say, do you know how much he made? He made $136 million just up front. And then he makes some type of renewal also. It's an incredible moneymaker for him. And then I joke and I say, you know what, unless you have your name on a grill, you probably should mark yes and find out when the best time for you to maximize your Social Security. And everybody laughs a little bit. Now we're going to put up a poll here just in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to tell you what we're really excited about. This seminar presentation, we made a few changes to it, but it's brand new. I put it together. IAMS did all of the creative behind it. The nice thing about this is that we got a brand new seminar system that we're just launching. I mean, like right now, and it's been within the last 2 weeks. But I've done exactly 500 public seminars since the mid '80s. That's between 15 and 20 a year. I've been very consistent. This year I did it every single month, with the exception I did not do July. We did our client event last weekend, but I've got a Social Security workshop coming on next Monday and Wednesday of next week. But instead of a hard mailing, we have gone to Facebook advertising, and we've had some really, really tremendous success. In fact, the last 2 workshops that I had, campaigns, did well over $1 million of business between those 2. And I will say this, is that the cost of this is so incredibly competitive. It's $2,500. Stephen, I'd like you to put up the poll too. If you'd like to learn more about Social Security claiming seminars with our brand new Social Security claiming campaign of Facebook, then you need to mark yes. There's a lot of folks. I think we're going to have a lot of appointments, Steve. So what happens is $2,500. That in itself is very inexpensive, over $1,000 less than what we had before with the hard copy. But the amazing thing is Steve Murray negotiated where we are able to go in with our vendor, and we are guaranteeing that you'll get 25 buying units. Guarantee that you'll get 25 buying units. Not if, 25 buying units or more. If you get more, there's no cost. If you get less, we're paying you back $100 per buying unit that doesn't come. And just to give you an idea, already coming, that I have signed up from Facebook, I have 70 some folks in the first wave already signed up to come. Now, Facebook isn't quite as sticky. We figure about half to 55% of all the people who sign up will come. But I will tell you what, it's having a guarantee of 2,500 that you'll get guaranteed 25 people to come, and to boot with that also is included is seminar coaching from me. You get 3 coaching sessions from me on Social Security. We make sure that you order out, which I call the Bible of Social Security claiming, and you get 3 months of Social Security software free from our Social Security vendor. So it's truly an all-in program. The big thing is it has a guarantee. Very few. In fact, I shopped it around with 3 of the larger, or maybe the largest, 3 companies out there that do seminar marketing. One charged $4,850, one is $5,350, and one was $6,300. IAMS is doing it for $2,500. Free seminar coaching. You can call me anytime you want to about seminar claiming or anything else when it is concerned about the sales process or from the financial service side. You've got Dave Pimper working on your side and teaching you Social Security claiming. You've got the seminar. It's, as you've just seen it, that's basically the look of it. But what happens is that it is provided to you. You also have all the language for every single slide. We are going to eventually, within the next month or 2, it would take that long, to get it FINRA reviewed for anyone who has a broker dealer affiliation. And you get 3 months of software free, Social Security claiming software. So what a package. We have had a ton of response, and we're kind of saving areas now throughout the U.S. So I'm going to turn this on over to Steve Murray, because I know that we've had some questions. If you have any questions, type them on in, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So I'm going to scoot it on over to Steve Murray, and we'll continue the webinar.
Thanks, Dave. That seminar, I know that wasn't exactly what you normally would present here today, but I think it really gives the guys a good flavor for the Social Security seminar. So great to have that. Actually, in some ways, we do have a couple questions up. So just before you walked into the room, I did talk to the guys a little bit about radio. So I have a question about Social Security claiming and radio from Tom. So the question that Tom has is, how do we get to the knowledge level on Social Security? And I'm guessing that you've maybe addressed that since Tom asked the question, but just in case, kind of go through again with the folks the regimen that you go through on the training and how you go about doing that training.
Yeah, when you go to elementary school, junior high, I guess they call it middle school now, middle school, high school, college, how much do you learn about Social Security claiming? Can you say zero? Nada, nothing, because that's exactly right. So what happens is, unless you've taken it upon yourself to learn that subject, or you claimed yourself and learned about that subject, most people just don't have any clue. Very, very few people do. I'm lucky enough that I do. About 10 years ago, I had more and more questions and I just jumped into it, and it wasn't easy, but I had no one to help me. Having someone walk you through the specifics of Social Security claiming and coaching you, yeah, it's very, very helpful. And you can call me at any time that you've got questions. I never had someone like that, but we want to make it easy. So we've got 3 coaching sessions, no cost. As long as you're doing the seminar, 3 coaching questions, no cost. You can call me anytime, email me anytime that you want to, as long as it's within reason. It can't be every hour of a working day, but as long as it's within reason, and I'm going to get back as quickly as I can with my coaching clients. When you combine that with a seminar presentation, getting in front of people and getting those questions and having Social Security software claiming free for 3 months for a trial, that's a pretty impressive package. A package that really cannot be duplicated or competed with anyone that I've seen within the industry. Okay, so we would love to get you in front of 10 to 12. You're guaranteed 25 buying units, so you're gonna have 25 or more. Otherwise, we'll pay you back. And that 25 buying units, normally I close from 40 to 50% of my people for appointments. And of those appointments, I normally close a third. It can be a third to a half, but a third of those folks. So I tell you what, if you're not in front of enough qualified appointments, if you're not having enough dollars, like this morning, that's 400,000, and I've still got a lot of appointments for the rest of the week. If you haven't got a system like seminar marketing, if you haven't got a system like Retirement Boss Radio with being your own radio host, if you don't, then you really need to go in and mark yes, talk to me, see what we have available, because people who are busy with appointments are people who are busy making money. People who are busy making money are happier. I'm just going to tell you, you know, it's an old adage in our business. I've been in the business for almost 40 years, but production almost cures all ills. Maybe not health, maybe not salvation, but everything besides that, I'm telling you what, money, money is very, very important. It's more fun to have it than not. Let's put more money in that back pocket. This new seminar marketing with the price point of 2,500 that has a guarantee of 25 buying units. It's something. And I tell you what, we just rolled it out, and we've already got a lot of folks who have already signed up. So don't miss out on that. Mark yes, and we'll talk, and then we'll go from there. Steve, I know there's at least one more question. I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, along the coaching aspect of it. So not only the valuable, there was a poll done recently, and basically the poll was the results of it were that over 80% of people would change advisors just for Social Security expertise. So you get that as part of this. I think that's important. But I think really for success in this business, the thing that's actually going to be most important for you is the coaching that comes after you do your first seminar, or right before, so you can make sure you get your appointments. And Dave would be the first one to say that when he first did his Social Security seminars, claiming seminars, years ago now, the biggest issue that he faced was that transitioning, moving from talking about their Social Security to talking about their other assets, and he's really perfected that. So we find that really highly valuable as well. And so there's a lot of great aspects to coaching that are hard to put your finger on, but at our mind here at IAM, it's really quite priceless. And so hopefully that's something you take advantage of. And I see that we have 88% of you have voted yes. I really got to talk to the 12%. I wonder what the no could be. But thank you all for joining us here today. There are a couple more questions, Dave, but I'm going to look here really quick. It looks like they're from people that have voted yes, so you're going to be talking to them over the next day or two that are really more specific Social Security questions that you can answer with them one-on-one. It sounds like you brought, just from the questions, very detailed information up in the course of your seminar, and there's some very detailed questions. So that's great. If nothing else, you'll get a chance to display your Social Security expertise. So that's great. So with that, I think we're pretty well done for the day. For once, we almost finished on time, which is great. I appreciate you all taking some time to join us today. The team here at IAMS feels very sincerely that your success is what leads us to any successes that we have here. So we're 100% in your court and want to do everything we can to get you where you need to be, whether that's Social Security claiming seminars, whether that's radio, whether that's retirement seminars, whether it's mailings, helping you build your image. And it can all start with joining us at an academy. So if we can help you with that, I know a lot of you have already registered some interest in that, but if you didn't register interest and you change your mind, Dave will, for instance, be at our next academy, September 12th through the 18th through the 20th, to talk a little bit more about this particular opportunity. So great stuff ahead. Thank you for joining us today. I know you get to the late summer, you're getting the kids in school, the grandkids are getting ready to go back to school, and you want to spend some time with them. So the fact that you take some time out of your busy schedule to join us today means a lot to us. So many of you shows that we've got a really great group of people. We do here at IAMS think a lot of the folks that are willing to take some time to perfect their business. So whatever we can do to help you all, please give us a call here at the office at 800-255-5055. When you call, you can ask for me or any one of our sales directors. We'd love to help you. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Dave. I know you've got some appointments coming up today as well, so thank you for stopping by and joining us today. Have a great finish to your sales week, everyone, and happy selling.